Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hello, can you see me? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right. Super excited to be here again. How many of you are excited to be here? We're just 19. Please, we can do better. Can we go to our different communities and tell our friends that we're alive? We are live. And today is going to be a very interesting one. We're talking about income streams, and I'm sure that this is the topic that everybody's interested in. We all want to know how we can start making more money without burning out. Many of us are excited. So let's just give two, should I say 2 minutes for others to join us. So please nudge everybody. Let them know that we are live. We are live. How many of you have been enjoying the series that we've been having? This Wealth Unleashed series. How many of you have been having a great time? How many of you have been learning? Who remembers what our first topic was? So, how many of us have been having, a great time so far? Who remembers our first topic or our second topic or our third topic? Who remembers? Let me see how many attentive students that we have here. Why are we so quiet? Why is everybody quiet? Okay, let me confirm. Are we all first timers here? Because or we've misplaced our notes. Which one? Let me just know. Which one exactly? Or you want me to remind you? Non-negotiable was like the last one. The first one. Who remembers? All right, welcome to our first timer. Yesterday, Okuse's first timer. Okay, so I remember the first conversation we had was: Are you hitting your money goals or hoping for the best? Are you just winging it and saying what will be? Que sera, sera. I mean, that was our first topic. That's what we spoke about. Then next, we talked about what your non-negotiable is when it comes to money. We should have a note because I have a note. So even if you don't remember, you can always skim to go and check. And then the third topic we had was what's the biggest lesson your finances taught you this month, right? So those are the three topics. If you're just new here, you can go to the channel to catch up on the replay, right? So welcome to Wealth Unleash. Wealth Unleash is the group coaching call where we talk about everything that has to do with our finances and money. For those who are just joining us for the first time and saying, oh, I don't understand, this is new to me. That's what Wealth Unleashed is about. We answer everything that has to do with your money questions. OC answers all of these questions. And of course, today we're going to talk about one income stream is too close to broke. The need for each and every one of us on this call to have multiple streams of income, and then we'll be sharing real life strategies that we can adopt. So I think this is a good place for me to start. This is a good place to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Wealth Unleash with OC. I am Stella, and I'll be your host for today. So just to lay a background and a foundation on the conversation that we're going to have, I'd like to give us an analogy, something that each and every one of us here can relate with. And I'll be using our dear country, Nigeria, for those who are Nigerians here. And if you're not a Nigerian, you can learn from this. So we know that Nigeria is a nation that is blessed with a lot of abundant resources, natural resources, elements, but we have seen how we have fared over the decade. Every time we're talking about GDP and the contributions to GDP, the only thing that contributes a significant amount that I've seen in the past decades is oil. This simply shows that Nigeria is monolithic. We are reliant on just majorly one source of income, right? And that's why every time there's a global change in price, our entire economy is crumbling. Every time something affects fuel production, it also shows us that our budgets can never be met. And that is why we'll have to borrow. But we cannot continue like this because we have so many things that can give us money as a nation. And now this brings me to you as a person. You're an individual with multiple streams of expenses. You're paying rent, you're paying light bills, you're paying school fees, you're paying for your health, you're paying for car bills, and you just have one source of income, your salary. Your salary comes in and is going in 100 different ways. What happens with having multiple streams and you can tag them to the different expenses that you have? Now, that is the conversation that we're going to be having. Today, we're going to deliver everybody here who is attached to just one stream of income. We're going to break the cycle with information and with knowledge. So I'm honored to introduce to you this evening OC Oladipupo Clement. Of course, he's our visionary leader and our business coach who will be attending to all of our questions, particularly in relation to the topic that we're going to be speaking about today. So, who is excited? Who is excited? Like me, I don't know why your energy is. What do I need to do? I think I should be the one feeling bad because 2 minutes to this time, I was battling with my generator that is refusing to come on. So I should be the one that my energy is low, right? So please, I can see wisdom. Yes, wisdom, you're excited. Maybe you should share, you should make it contagious. Okay, Tomiwa says we're excited. Okay, Atola needs to. Okay, fantastic. Joseph Alimi. All right, Imo Etin first timer, welcome. So thank you everyone. So we're going to be having a great conversation and OC is here already. So this is a good place to start. We have a very healthy number of people here, 53. Fantastic. So we know that we see oceans, we see the sea, and we notice that it never runs dry. Of course, it cannot run dry because it's not getting inflow from just one source. It's getting inflow from multiple sources. But if you remember the lake in your village, the pond or the river in your village, there are certain times where it becomes dry and you can walk on it, and there are certain times where it comes back again. You don't want your money to be fluctuating like that because your bills are not fluctuating, whether you like it or not. Your bills will always is steady. Like it does not need, it's on autopilot. So why not make your income on autopilot? So today, like I said, for those who's joining us, we're talking about one income stream. It's too close to broke because if anything happens to that one source, you start begging for Oden 2K. So we are here to help you get started on having multiple streams of income. So welcome, OC. How are you doing today?
I'm good, 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 good. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wealth Unleashed. So over to you, Stella.
Right. So we're starting today with a clarification. Some people just hear multiple streams of income and they don't understand. They're like, I'm just one person. How do I manufacture income streams? I
Hmm.
only know that I go to work and I get my salary, and then maybe if somebody dash me money, and I don't know if other people dash people money again as it is going. So also I like you for you to demystify this concept of what exactly is or are multiple income streams.
All right, thank you very much, Stella. I'm glad that you already you've already done the lecture. You've already laid a very important foundation by citing the example of Nigeria, using the national economy for as a metaphor for personal or family economy. One thing that we have all observed consistently, and majority of us can relate, is the fact that it is normal, it is automatic for us to have. Can you please spotlight Stella as well, please, admin? Can you please spotlight Stella so that we both can be on the screen? Thank you. Um, is the fact that we all have multiple streams of expenses. I've said this time and again, multiple streams of expenses is normal. As long as you are alive, right? You have multiple streams of expenses, and that's automatic, all right? But before I get into multiple streams of income, I think important to also establish that when a person is alive and is not making money at all, that person is visited with three uh, possibilities. Number one, such a person is predisposed to begging for money, right? Is predisposed to begging for money. That's not honorable. Um, Even if you have some disabilities and you have certain setbacks, people can show pity, people can show compassion, people can come to your rescue. But after a while, you realize that you constitute a burden, and the person who is already in support or who's been in your who's been coming to your aid all along suddenly will start to feel like, "Ah, sorry, I'm not the one that created the problem. I'm not the one that created this adversity or crisis. I shouldn't bear the burden." For those of us who are familiar with the scriptures, you remember at a point Moses, screamed. It's like, I'm not the one that gave birth to all these people now, for God's sake. Why do they want to kill me? Because as human beings, we have our limitations. There's limits to how much we can undo, right? None of us has the capacity to hear everybody at the same time and be able to respond to everybody, at the same time. Somebody say my audio is low. Is it my audio that is low or your network? Please confirm to me that you can hear
It
me.
works perfectly here. Kindly please check your audio,
All
rejoin,
right.
or make
So,
any necessary
Elizabeth, maybe you
adjustment.
need to sign out
Thank
and
you.
sign in again. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Joseph Alini. All right. So essentially, once you are not making money, because like I say all the time, all of us are gifted spenders. All of us are talented spenders. We don't need training. You don't need schooling. You don't need to be on this call to be a good spender. All of us are gifted spender from cradle to grave. Spending is part of our, it's part of our nature. So, so whether or not you make money, spending becomes recurring, right? And so because you don't make money, you start to beg money. Once you run out of people to beg from, the next option that you have is to start borrowing money, right? When you solicit for help and it appears as though you are stressing people, the next thing you might consider at such point will be, oh, can you loan me, $1,000? Can you loan me $500? Can you loan me 500,000? Or, I'll pay you next month. I'm expecting some money. You hear things like that. People will say, oh, I'm expecting money, even though they are not really expecting any money. They didn't work. They didn't exchange any value. They didn't, bring anything to the market, and they are not selling anything. You hear people say things like, I'm expecting some money, right? I mean, if you are African, you understand what I'm talking about, all right? And then again, what happens when people begin to borrow? It gets to a point where they run out of all their relational capital. They exhaust the capacity of all their relationship. When you have borrowed from this to pay the other loan and borrowed from this to pay the other person, and it gets to a point where you are now stranded. Is that correct? So that's pretty much what now leads to the third option. And the third option, like I always say, is not just dishonorable, but it can land you in jail. People begin to now compromise. People begin to cut corners. They begin to, um, lie. They begin to scam people. And then now part of the scheme of making money now is kidnapping. Even people who are not kidnappers are framing themselves up as though they are being kidnapped. It's now a big business, right? It's also a reflection of how badly uh, our minds have been warped. People now can't think of what is the good they can bring to the society. It is how they can bring even harm to themselves in the process that they are thinking, right? Just this Sunday, somebody was still sharing a testimonial of someone, who was the guy is a tricycle rider, and you know, unknown to him, The passenger that came in made the call, forgot phone inside the tricycle. They called the number. Bottom line, they said the person cannot be found. It is the tricycler that's kidnapped the person. And the guy is wondering what's going on here. Well, God so good, he was vindicated. That's how terrible, how far people can go when they are out of financial options, when they have no income. So again, people go into robbery, they go into prostitution, they go into, a whole lot of things that people start to do. And we've seen situations where people hack people's accounts, hack people's phones, all sorts of things that people do on a global scale. Many of us are familiar with the great Nigerian hacker that was domiciled in Dubai. I don't want to mention names. Many of us are familiar with what I'm talking about. The way this thing works is that once you begin that journey, you can't stop any longer, right? Once you start meeting some basic needs, you move to the next hierarchy of need, and then you want to satisfy those needs and on and on. That's pretty much the way this thing works. Please, admin, can you please spotlight Stella side by side me so that this can flow? Admin, can you do that, please? Thank you. So bottom line, so what you now realize is once people are not making money, this is what happens. Now, there are people who even make money, but like we say, their take home doesn't take them home. And that's also part of the major reasons why people have to grapple with, so many expenses. Again, the way black tax is in Africa. It's a mega, mega issue, right? So you are the firstborn of, sorry, please, let me add, okay, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. So you are the firstborn of a family of seven, right? And you probably are the only one that managed to go to school, right? And um, once you graduate, everybody becomes a liability, including the parents that sent you to school, right? And you are plagued with demands that you have capacity to meet and the ones you have no capacity to meet. And so these are things that put people under undue pressure, and people guilt trip you, they emotionally blackmail you, as though, oh, you are successful because of them. And if you don't come to their rescue, you know, something can go wrong with their life and all of that. So these are many of the factors. And I needed to come from that angle because um, whether you are conscious of it or not, whether you are married or not, there are people waiting for you, right? Just this evening. Now, I'm not kidding. It's not as though I prepared for this. Just this evening, somebody still sent me a message that his Corolla packed up and he needs to change the engine. Are you get what I'm talking about? So the demand always just keeps coming, right? So once you show sign of progress in our society, African society, forget it, oh, forget it. You are in for serious soup. You are in, and your social media can betray you, whether you are struggling financially or whether you have secured. What you better not announce the place you work. You better not show that you are making so now some people have now decided not to show that it was part of my philosophy, but I realized I didn't change anything. Whether you announce that you are successful or not, they will send you requests. So I realized that, well, better use your social media to grow business. I use it so I don't flaunt anything. I don't even flaunt. What have I to flaunt? Right. So the point I'm trying to make is you see that this is really the reality for a lot of people, and a lot of people are stressed out. There are families where it is the wife that is bearing the entire responsibility. Maybe the husband had a setback, financial setback, or not responsible at all. There are families like that. There are families where it's the man that is taking responsibility for everything. The woman is doing nothing, practically nothing. And maybe there's a mutual understanding between husband and wife. And sometimes, whether you like it or not, the family of the spouse or family, extended family, they will start saying things. People place demand. So you can find a man is the one taking care of his own family, his own extended family, the extended family of his wife. Everybody becomes the burden of the person. And then you are wondering why people are dropping dead untimely. These are the factors that are driving it. So the same thing goes vice versa. So, what is the key point? The key point here is these are the harsh reality. Let me say this very simply, and I say it honestly. It may come across as brutal, it may come across as harsh, but take this from me. It is impossible for you to be wealthy if the rate at which money leaves you is faster than the rate at which money comes to you. If you forget anything I have ever said, you have ever interacted with, it will be impossible if the rate at which money leaves you. So if the rate at which money leaves you is faster than the rate at which money comes to you, you can never be rich. Like Stella already alluded to, many of us have our expenses on autopilot. If you live abroad, you know what I'm talking about, right? Your power bill, your utility, your phone is a necessary um, expense that is recurring, right? It doesn't have any regard to whether you are fine. Your power bill has nothing to do with the water bill. All those things just goes. Nigeria, you don't even know that you're enjoying some things. I'm telling you. So when people think, oh, once you start earning in dollars or earning in pound sterling, your life is better than those who are in Nigeria. The reality is that the things that are taking that money is way more. And that's why the subject of today is extremely crucial. So if you don't, so if you are in Africa, even if you don't have automated power bill, automated phone bill, automated water bill, and all of those things, you know you have black tax automated, right? That's why I started from there. So if you are depending on where you are, and then if you are abroad, you know you are dealing with that one. You still have to battle with sending money home and a host of other things. So this is why, if anything at all, or if nothing at all, you have to give attention to multiple streams of income. And so I want to read a particular scripture of the Bible. Please, I'm a Christian and I'm a Bible believing Christian, and Bible is my anchor. So this is not Bible study, but the Bible captures literally everything. So I want to show you something in the Bible. In Ecclesiastes chapter 11 and verse 1 and verse 1, verse 2, sorry, verse 2 to 3. It says, in the New International Version, it says, invest in 7 ventures. Invest in 7 ventures. It says, yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land, meaning that disaster can come. Meaning disaster, adversity is part of the harsh realities of life. And he said, if clouds are full of water, they pour rain on the earth. Whether a tree falls to the south or to the north, in the place where it falls, there it will lie. Now note this. It says invest. It was giving recommendation. If you read the King James Version, let me read that one. Hopefully it will shed a bit more light. Many of us may be familiar with, may be more comfortable. Those of us who are Christians will be comfortable with this. He said, cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days. He said, give a portion to 7 and also to 8. He said, for thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth. Did you see that? For thou do not know what evil might be upon the earth. This is counsel from the wisest man, all right, that ever lived before Jesus, all right, and clearly before many of us. This was the counsel. Solomon in the Bible, King Solomon, had 12 streams of income. You wonder, how did I know? If you read First Sam, you read if you read First Kings, you read Second Kings, First Kings in particular, and you read First Chronicle, you will gain Second Chronicle rather, you will gain a lot more insight about the income streams of King Solomon. It was massive, and there's a lot you can learn from King Solomon. But one of the key secrets of King Solomon's wealth was multiple streams of income, and it was that same man that made this recommendation. He said, invest in 7 ventures. And King James says, give a portion to 7. It's when you read other translation, you gain broader and deeper understanding of exactly what he was saying. What does that mean? There are 3 income types, because I want to quickly see if we could address this income types dichotomy. There are 3 broad income types, and not understanding these income types can be another trap for a lot of people. So some people are creating multiple streams of labor, not multiple streams of income. So if you do not understand what I'm about to say now, then you might just find yourself trapped in multiple streams of labor. So these income types are, number one is once and only. Once and only. He said trichotomy. Yes, thank you, Mr. Olagoke. Once and only. That is what we regard as earned income. So you work once, you earn once. If you stop working, money stop flowing. Any work you do where you exchange your time and energy for money, that is once and only, right? It's called earned income, popularly known as earned income. You work once, you earn once. If you don't work, you don't earn. Now, because time is a limited resource, and then you use your muscle, all right, for that work. Muscle and money is spiritual, wealth is spiritual. You can't use a limited resource and a physical resource to generate wealth that is a spiritual resource. So you'll be confined by time, you'll be confined by space. And so it's important to recognize that. Okay. The second income type is once and always. Once and always. If you understand these 3 income types, you will know exactly what type of income streams you are creating. That's why I'm beginning from there. So once and always, this is what we call passive income. You work once, but you keep earning. All right. You work once, but you keep earning. Income keeps flowing to you. All right. Whether you, where once you work once, so you build a house once, that effort goes in once, but you don't have to be building every day and again. But that property continues to yield for you. You write a book once, and then if you have a right marketing system, have a right marketing platform, the platform can continue to generate cash flow for you. You produce courses, you set it up on Seller or Stanley or different platforms. You could even have your own LMS, learning management system, right? And then just all you need to do is essentially drive traffic to that platform. It can continue. You work once, create a course once, but people can continue. Guess what? YouTube has become some sort of a platform now where people are now monetizing their digital assets, right? Not just creating digital footprint and building a personal brand, but they're also using it also as a money spinner, right? I was watching somebody sent this to me, I think 2 months or 3 months ago, of a particular guy they call Egungun of Lagos or something, and he was interviewing, I can't remember the lady, um, Blessing CEO or something. And in the course of their conversation, I really didn't understand why the person sent that thing to me, but I am a learner, forever learning. So while I was listening, they were discussing many other things that were very absurd and annoying, but I paid attention. But there was something the lady said. The lady made a statement. Number one, I realized she was even very young. She was still very young. So I said, so this is the lady that has been advising the whole world. Eh? But I mean, when she started saying the things she was saying, I was shocked. But she said every month she makes in the region of 50,000, 35,000 to $50,000 from YouTube. So some people are going there to consume information, some people are going there to dump information. And YouTube has a income distribution model of 55%, 45%. So 55, 45, that's the income sharing ratio. So every money they make, every advert that comes on your platform, YouTube sends 55% to you, and then they take 45%. That's the income model, the advertising model. A lot of people don't know. Let me see. Okay, I need to show you something because this is important because we are not doing this program for fun. I want to make sure that um, you still get some value, even though this is a free platform, right? I want to make sure that it counts for something. I want to show you a book, and I want to, if you can, go get the book because you work once, you produce once. Now, we're speaking right now. This program is being streamed on the YouTube platform. Okay, I have a podcast platform. So I'm just letting you know I'm an author. I'm a real estate coach. I'm a consultant. I'm a course creator. You know, I'm a thought leader. I'm a pastor. What else am I? Many things. So today now you see husband and wife have platforms and they put out their daily lifestyle content. So depending on different things, so you can create digital assets. You work once and then you are apart from creating digital footprints, you're also creating asset that we can continue to produce for you, right? You watch some videos, somebody say Bishop, somebody wrote Bishop. So permit me, I need to pick a book from my bookshelf. Just want to show you something. I have quite a lot of books here, but this one I need to show you. Um, it's called YouTube Formula. It's called YouTube Formula. Um, Please do the best you can, especially if you have ability to speak, you know how to communicate. Even if you don't know how to communicate before now, learn it. It's a skill that will constantly be generating for you. Anything you have learned that can add value that has added value to your life. You've gone for a training. Who says you can't reproduce the training for other people? You've gotten a skill, you acquired a knowledge, you paid to enter that program. Who says you can't repeat, you can't teach others? You can teach others what you know, okay? And then there are a lot of guidance. I can't teach you what is in this book, but if you learn what is in this book, even if you are not on Instagram, you are not on anything, you can settle down, tabernacle on YouTube. Eh? Do you understand what I just said now? You can tabernacle on YouTube and decide that the next 1 year, this is where I want to sit. Your own may be trending news, trending reports. Some of you, if you are a journalist, I don't know what you are doing with your skill. If you learn how to edit, they say, I never knew how powerful these platforms are until my kids, my children will come up and say, my second daughter will say, Daddy, I have this recipe I'm working on. And I'm thinking to myself, recipe. Like possible. I said, not only you go chop this food because the way you are mixing everything up, I'm not sure I want to eat of it. But I've seen times when even my wife will say, I need to learn this particular recipe. And they go on Google, on YouTube, go and see. You'll be shocked at amazing, all sorts of people that are on YouTube teaching people how to cook afang soup, ogbono soup. And many of you have all those skills, but it's only known to you. Nobody knows it. Anything on pets, um, games, even there are skills that we have been paying for that are not available on YouTube for free that you can learn on YouTube. Many years ago, this should be around maybe 2007 or 2006. There was a gentleman called, we used to call him Kwame then, Kwame of, what is he called now? I can't even remember his company name now. Nigezie. Yeah, I think it's Nigezie.
NGZ. Yeah.
Yeah. He was in our church, for to speak to professionals and entrepreneurs. And he said something. He said he works in the day, but he used the night to research how to improve and how to grow his business. Everything he learned it on YouTube. So what skill do you have that you can teach other people? You know, thank you very much, Stella, for sharing that. Right. So you can go on Amazon, go on, buy, just get this book, get it, YouTube formula. One of my mentors who I follow, the guy spoke so powerfully about this book, how that he even paid the author to still coach him and his son, on how to monetize YouTube. This man, he said it was he had set up his now. By the way, I was talking different income types. So you see, I've gone into YouTube now, talking YouTube before, and all of you have paid attention. I can see the attention. It's like, hey, oh yeah, talk, yeah, explain it, explain it. So I've forgotten that it's income tax. I want to talk now. Sat down with now the challenge a lot of people have. Let me say this is that when you go on YouTube, you won't start making money from day one, right? You won't. You need to meet certain criteria, right? But that's not for today. So go get the book. It will guide you. And we have quite a few other people who also teach on how to. If you live abroad and you don't have this type of thing that you can monetize. Today, if you live in the UK, in the US in particular, those two countries, right, at least I'm sure of that one, those two countries, all social media are monetizable. There are other restrictions if you are in Canada, if you are in other parts of the world, including Nigeria, right? But if you live abroad and you are not leveraging this platform, we live in incredible times. It's a lot easier now to make money from the comfort of your home than it is to make money way back, right? Without having anything to sell. For some people even distribute other people's content and they are still monetizing their platform. They are resharing and sharing what belongs to others. They are not even creating any content, right? And we have people who are doing some very silly things anyways. So what's my point? The income type, number one, is once and only earned income, once and always. So if you build this thing to a level, you can have loads of subscribers, and those are the people that YouTube is trying to advertise to. And whenever they listen to they watch your videos, whether it is a money training, whether it is swimming, I mean, there is practically nothing you will not be able to find on YouTube, right? After God is Google. I'm telling you, after God is Google and government. Those are the three G's you must never joke and kid about. And YouTube is owned by Google. So if you Google it, if you can Google it, you can YouTube it. Make your own content part of those things that can be Googled as well. The interesting thing is that most people who go on those platforms go there to go and ask questions. So they already are solution aware. So if you want to build your business, you can use the platform. So the platform can be generating traffic to your business. It can also be a tool for also growing your personal brand and so on and so forth. So the reason why I mentioned that is because I mentioned real estate. I mentioned you building a house once, writing a book. Now I've talked about digital assets. So you can do the work once and then open it up in that manner. So the third income type is free flow. Free flow. So first one, once and only earned income. Second one is once and always, that is passive income. And then the third one is free flow. This is portfolio or investment income. This is income you generate when money is the one doing the work for you. Okay. When money is doing the work for you. Okay. And so when you are trying to create wealth or create multiple streams of income, multiple streams of income is the secret to oceanic wealth. And that was the illustration that Stella gave in the beginning when she described that oceans don't run dry, but streams do dry up, rivers do go dry, ponds do go dry, lakes do go dry, and they come in and they are full at some time of the year and they are dry at some other times of the year. But oceans never run dry. And the secret is because every stream, river, all over the place, all flow into the ocean. So if you also want to be like the ocean, never running dry, you need to consider setting up multiple streams of income. And so your earned income, so if you earn a salary, that salary is you are exchanging time, you're exchanging your muscle, you're exchanging effort, energy for money. You now need to use other income type if you want to create multiple streams, not to repeat, not to put money in another thing that, or not to put time and energy into something else that will be sapping your energy, sapping your strength, sapping your time, right? Because you are limited. No matter how smart you are, everybody has 24 hours. No matter the location you are, everybody has 24 hours. So that is the fundamental you need to have. So you need to have a prime. So if you are a businessman or woman, your primary source of income must be established, clarified. And then from that income, you then channel that money into these other once and always, and then free flow. That is how you begin to think. All right. So that's how you should wire yourself. So if you have 2, 3 jobs where you clock out here to clock in there, you have not created multiple streams of income. You have simply created multiple struggle or multiple streams of labor. All right. And, I still saw a post not too long ago of a lady who just returned from introduction in Nigeria back to the UK. And I learned that she was found dead in her home. Right. And she's a nurse. Stories like that always often go viral. Everybody gets to know, but everybody who is making money, people are silent about it. Nobody comes to advertise how successful they are, and all of that. So my point is, people are combining so many jobs, and people are stressed out. People are worn out. They don't have time for family. They don't have time for themselves. They don't have time for nobody. They have time. No, they don't have time for God. They don't have time for anything except to make this money. It's multiple streams of labor. So you want to find a way to channel your primary income source or sources into the multiple stream, into these other channels of income types. Anything that will require your time and still require your energy is not how you create multiple streams of income. Once you have this basic understanding, what you then do, like I've shared before, let me illustrate here. Let me see if I can illustrate. And those of you who couldn't make it to Financial Freedom Challenge, Stella, what do we say to them? You missed
Join
plenty.
the next cohort, June 2nd.
Can you see my screen?
It's coming up.
Let me see if I can. So if you missed, can you see my screen now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so there are 4 ways you can make money. Let me just illustrate this because it's important. There are 4 ways you can make money. Number 1 is by being a worker. Here you exchange your time and energy for money. This is where majority of people are. The only way you can increase your income here is by upskilling, increase your skill, or give more hours, right? More hours or more time. Those are the 2 ways. Number 2 is by being a closer or a salesperson, right? There's no limit to how much money you can make here. You can make $1 million in a single phone call. And you can make $1,000 in a single phone call. And there are 3 things that contribute to your earning here. Number 1 is your ability to, number 1 is how good you are. So if you have, how good you are is number 1 factor for increasing your income. Number 2 is the price, is how much commission you earn. And number 3 is how much is your product. So if you sell a product that is $1 million and your commission is 5%, right? what is your commission? That's $50,000. So, and then you can conclude such transaction in just a phone call, or maximum, maybe you give, let us even say you gave 10 hours in a whole month to close that deal. $50,000 for a 10-hour work, that's not healthy enough. That's good enough. But that depends on how good you are, because for you to be able to sell $1 million and to find somebody who can buy $1 million product, it means you are in the right network, you have the right quality of relationship. And then it also shows that, and then of course, if the commission structure is 5%, that means you are good. So if you sell 10 of that in a single year, you have made $500,000 just because you're a good closer. Somebody following me? Because you
Yes,
are
sir.
a good closer. So the third way, the third way to make money is by being an owner. Okay? By being an owner. All right. And by being an owner, we essentially saying you acquire income producing assets. So you own income producing assets. So if you do what I've said so far, you can migrate so from a worker to an owner, you can migrate from a closer to an owner. The goal should be that you want to be an owner so that you don't have to always work for your money. You want your money to also be working so hard for you. Like I've shared time and again, until the proceed from your assets and investments can replace what you earn from your active working life, you are not yet financially free. Okay? You are not yet free. Okay? So if you earn $1 million a year, as long as you work, that's not bad. Not many people earn $1 million. Statistics show in America that 20%, only 20% and above, um, only 20% of Americans earn $100,000 and above. Only 20%. So not many people earn $1 million. So you understand what I'm talking about. But if that income you make is still from your labor, physical labor, is from exerting energy and time and all of those things, that's good, but you want to now channel a portion of that income into owning asset that produces income for you. All right. So until you start producing $1 million from your income and from your asset and investment, you're not yet financially free. And guess what? Even if your annual income is $20,000 and now you now have assets that can match that level of income, that's what we're talking about. So your goal would be you want to become an owner. Do you get the point making? And then finally is to be a lender. And one of the things that can help you to become an effective lender is actually to be an owner ultimately. So when you start to make certain levels of income, there's no way you won't start to generate, how do I call it now? I mean, once you start to make a certain level of income passively, whether or not you work, there is no way you will not get to that point where you would um, where you would how do I put it now? Where you start to make where you start being a lender, so you can use a portion of that money. So there are people who, with $5,000, their business can take a new shape altogether. That can give you equity in their business. You can decide that, well, it's 20%, it's 30%. That's what the lending debt financing structure, all these mortgage, that's how they make money, right? Some people, even apart from the loan they give out, they sell those loans out. So somebody have loaned $1 million to a lot of people, and they're going to pay me, I'm going to recoup $12 million over the next 10 years. I can't wait for 10 years. If you can buy that loan from me and give me $2 million now. That's how the people keep shifting loans. Oh. That's what led to the bubble bust, the 2008, 2009, 2010 bubble bust. That was what led to it, right? So I've loaned $1 million out. By the time these people are paying me over the next 15, 20, 30 years, I'm going to get 12 million. I want to sell that loan to somebody who is interested. If you can give me 1.5, don't forget all my capital in that project was 1 million. But because of the repayment plan, will still give me back 12 million over 20-year period. If you can buy it off me for 1.5 million or $2 million, you are good. So these are the kind of trades that people do. So being a lender, you can be and you can be into private equity, you can be a bank, whether commercial bank, whether microfinance, you can be venture capitalists, right? And there are a lot of variants. So the point I'm trying to make is these are the ways by which people make money. So if you are here, if this is where you are, your goal should be to move here. If you are here, it's good that you have this skill because you can continue to make more money here as long as you're alive. But your goal should be to translate that money that you make into becoming an owner. And you can then begin to leverage your proceeds, the proceeds of your earnings for lending. And that's pretty much how this money is made. I hope I was able to make some sense.
Yes, 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 yes. I like how you just dive right into it. Because my next question was going to be you speaking to the different categories of income stream that people should consider developing. So it was spot on, it was perfect. So somebody might be asking, when do I start and how do I start? For those who are still thinking, how do I go
Okay.
about it?
All right. So the best time to start was 20 years ago. The next best time is now. All right. As long as you are currently making money, it means that there's a portion of that money is a seed to secure your future. A portion of that money is bread for you to eat today. Like I say to people humorously, you have to be alive to even enjoy the fruit of that seed in the future. So you need to take care of yourself today on the way to where you are going. So a part of what you earn is yours to give because it's spiritual investment. It's a rent you pay for the ground upon which you walk, upon the ground upon which you lie and sleep. We all know when we get to bed, but we don't know when we fall asleep. Number two, a part of what you earn is yours to keep. That is the seed, the physical investment, and you want to channel it to, um, you know, assets that can keep producing for you. Work once and then can continue to produce for you. You write a book once, you publish the book, you set up the system. It will require some basic capital outlay. And there are people who are good at setting up, who are good at publishing the book for you, but they are not good at distributing the book for you. So if you find anybody that can set up a funnel, right, that can help you publish your book and then set up a book funnel for you and continue to drive traffic, that becomes a perpetual money spinner, right? I have a mentor who every single month he generates between $30,000 and $50,000 from his books, and is the cost of production of his books is less than $3. And they sell each book. Let me show you people so that let me just illustrate because like this illustration, this illustrative, interactive, whatever is good. Can you see my screen? So
Yes.
this is the cost of production, but this is selling price. So if it sells 10,000, now he has sold hundreds of thousands of copies. So if he sells 10,000 copies, how much is his profit? That's 270,000. He said in a single year, he makes somewhere in the region of $500,000 from his books alone. From his books alone. Eh? Eh? Are you hearing what I'm talking about?
We are in awe.
So it's not just about writing a good book. because it is not best writers that win in the market, it is best sellers. All right, so you need a system that turns that up for you. And then this is why you should attend the Financial Freedom Challenge. And when you attend the Financial Freedom Challenge, I teach, I guide you, and I show you things. Right? Now, imagine this is free, right? Imagine you attend the Financial Freedom Challenge. June 2nd to June 6th. It was supposed to be June 7th, but we are reducing it to June 6th, right? It's just going to be it's a 5-day Financial Freedom Challenge. Your life is never going to remain the same. By the time we are done with that program, you will have an understanding of the various you have a hold of a blueprint with which you can begin to plan. You know how to calculate your financial freedom goal. You know exactly the steps you will need to take to get there. So let's not belabor it, but that's just what I just wanted to share. I hope I answered the question. So start now. You don't need to waste time. And if you need further clarity, join the next edition, the next cohort of Financial Freedom Challenge. We'll break it down each day. To get more details, you can reach out to 0708-797-0441, 0708-797-0441. If you're anywhere out of Nigeria, please add +234. That number is on WhatsApp, and then you can get all the details, registration details. There's the VIP experience for the Financial Freedom Challenge. There's the regular experience. The regular is $99. That's approximately $150,000. The VIP is $450,000. And there are people who want me to sit down with me to have a consulting session or coaching session. It's $10,000 per hour. That's the cheapest way to get my brain for $299. Okay, in a group coaching session like that, and you have no idea how much liberation that will bring to your finances. So if you make money and don't know exactly what to do with your money, don't worry, we'll show you in that class. You become the financial fund manager for your own life, and then you can begin to coach other people as well within your circle. So if you're an entrepreneur, you don't also want to miss it. Day one, we focus on personal transformation. You are where you are because of who you are. Your mindset, your thought patterns, your belief system, your habits, they already define your outcome completely. We focus on that on day one. Day two, we look at personal preparation. The way you lay your bed is the way you lie on it. And that's pretty much one of the things we do. So we touch on everything in terms of structure for your finances and all the things that will come. Before the money comes, you set the plan in place. And then day three, we focus on income generation. That day is always ballistic. Day three is ballistic. Everything that can help you succeed, whether you're an entrepreneur or you're a working class professional, that will help you significantly. And then day four, we focus on asset accumulation, right? So income producing assets and all of those things. And then day five, we look at asset asset optimization and retention. Then we touch a little bit about income protection and asset protection also on that Friday. We usually have day six, but it was advised that we shouldn't do it again. So we'll bring in slots. But the thing is, after that 5 days, you will gain clarity of exactly what you should be doing. And if you register for the VIP experience, you will have the opportunity to ask questions. You'll be part of the Q&A group coaching call. And then you will also have opportunity to hear answers that is provided to others. So it is actually more beneficial when you register as a VIP, because that's when you will have the opportunity to ask questions. So after the section, we treat and teach everybody. Then we'll have a breakout session when it's only for the VIP experience people only. And so we can have concentrated attention. Those who register as regular, they will only get the lecture. They won't have opportunity to ask questions or listen to the answers to other people's questions. So it's something that I personally believe will transform your life. Again, apart from that, if you love to, I've said it time and again, rich people move in community. Most times when people come for programs like that, they have massive, they are excited. There's so much excitement. There's so much fire. There's so much, oh, they are pumped up. By the time the program is over, they'll calm down and it's like they've forgotten everything they learned. So you still require, for some people, they're self-motivated. Some people already doing things they are supposed to do, right? But there are others who still need somebody who they need to be accountable for. And we created what we call the inner circle. My inner circle. We've just room for limited number of people. Um, you know, I always recommend you attend the Financial Freedom Challenge first. At least maybe that can set you up. You don't need to attend the other one. You don't need to join the inner circle. But if you join the inner circle, to join the inner circle now is by application. It's not for everybody. It's by application. Once you apply and you're accepted, then they'll send you the link. The prices is not even available publicly anymore. All the people who have joined previously, I congratulate them. Right. So the prices are no longer available publicly. It is based on application and those who are accepted going forward. All right.
Thank you very much. That was very, very extensive. So I just have one question before we take questions from the audience, because we have two questions already. And
Okay.
it is, what are the warning signs that a potential income stream might not be worth pursuing? Because it's not every income stream, just as we say, not every open door is a blessing, because even a prison door is an open door. So,
Absolutely.
yes.
Yeah, all right. Fantastic question you've asked. So there are platforms that can help you make money, but cannot help you retain money. So when you have platforms that can help you make money, as quickly as possible. Don't be greedy. You want to quickly turn your earnings into assets that can not only help you make more money, but also help you retain the money, which is why I love real estate a lot. Do you get? So there are platforms that the market is volatile, right? Today it can be up and tomorrow it can be down. One minute you are smiling, the next minute you are not crying, you are wailing. So you want to be careful how you distribute your money, around. You want to be sure that it is in asset classes that have stability. Now, you also want to ascertain your own risk profile, right? Any return that looks too good to be true is actually too good to be true. So any money that you yourself know you can't produce, even if you work from now till the end of the year, you know that you cannot generate that, you can't match that return, and somebody promised you, even if there is a countless return, countless testimonial of people who have made it. There are countless testimonial of people who have lost money that they will not publish. So it's important that everything in life has two sides. There are two sides of a coin to everything. So what has the capacity and the potential to give you income also has the potential to go the other way. So you want to, even if you are going to take that leap of faith and you're going to invest in those type of income asset classes, you want to make sure that it is limited so that your risks are, are are not concentrated. So you want to spread your risk. So you want to have different portfolio mix of asset classes so that if you are younger, there's a level of risk you can take. But when you are older and you have obligations, you can't afford to be taking certain kinds of risk. So, but watch out, anything that can only make you money but has the potential for falling. Uh, there are money that is only paper return. It's until you sell it that you can make the money. But there are properties, I can tell you this in real estate. If a property is worth 200 million today, even if you choose not to sell it, by the time you are ready to sell, it could be worth 300 million. But there are other asset classes that it could be worth 200 million today. And the day you decide, so until you sell it, you cannot claim that money. And if you decide to sell it in another 1 year time, the asset or the instrument could be 200, could be it could be 50 million. So it's 200 million today, but it could be 50 million in another 1 year time. And then you need to wait another time for the market to rebound. So these are the factors. So if you are trying to create portfolio of asset, number one, among everything I've shared, you may also want to consider uh, giving it time. There are instruments that is long term. All right. So just keep putting money there. You know it's long term. Okay. It's 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. That's what you're planning for. That's fine. There's nothing to worry about. You're not gambling, right? So, but um, if it is to create wealth and retain the wealth, then you must move your money from one instrument that has made money and move it elsewhere. One thing that I recommend all the time, let me use this as an illustration, just to give a context. Um, if you Let me use stock market for example. Okay, for those of you who like stock market, if you buy a share, let's say a stock is selling for it's selling for $10, right? And then you bought a million of that share. How much have you invested? $10 million, right? Now, if this
Yes.
10 million, if this 10 million, sorry, this $10 share becomes $50 per share, right? In say maybe 5 years. I'm using 5 years because really it takes between 3 to 5 years for a business to be established. It has become 50 million. How much did you put in? You put in 10 million. Now it is worth how much? It's worth 50 million, right? What I would recommend you do, you can pull out 40 million, which is your profit, retain the 10 million in that same asset class. Do you get? Move the $40 million into something that is more stable and just continue to flow in perpetuity. Do you get the drift? Right? So that's what I can recommend. So, yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much for that. The illustration super helps a lot. I'm sure a lot of people got value for those who play in the market. And you know how volatile the market can be for investors' confidence or one government policy can affect the price of the stock and the reaction of the stock. So please sell some and put it in something that is stable. This question is a consultation question, but I'll still read it. Then I'll leave OC to decide. But this question, it says, Sir, a student that just finished school and is receiving 150K per month, what steps can you outline for him to get to the level of owner
I already
in the
explained it.
quadrants you shared with us?
Yeah, I already explained that earlier. So there are two ways to increase your income. It's either you work more, right? Which is what most people do. They either work more in that company and they get more pay, or they get 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs so that they can increase what comes in, right? Whatever you are doing for one company, you can do it for other companies and multiply yourself. So when you close here, you resume in the other place, right? Some people do full time here and they do full remotes elsewhere. So different things that people are doing, right? So that's one way, but that is multiple streams of labor, like we explained, right? The other way is to increase your skill so that because the highest income you are earning is a reflection of the highest skill that you are bringing, highest level of value you are bringing to
Mm,
any organization. So if you are not comfortable with how much money you are making, listen, the reason why I can charge $10,000 per hour for my clients and they pay is because of the level of value I bring. Do you understand what I'm talking about? So somebody is running a business and is struggling in that business. I've struggled myself before. It's not theory. I've struggled. I've had setbacks. There are things I've done that failed. I've done things that worked. I've done things that failed. I've had more failures than success. And that's the case with a lot of people. So I've converted those experiences, those painful experiences, I've converted it to consultants. So when someone consults me, reaches out to me to say, oh, I'm trying to put a structure in place, blah, blah, blah. So sometimes I teach something and somebody says, sorry, I need you to help me with this. And sometimes people are quick. Some of the people that I deal with are quick to say, sorry, I'll pay you. How much is your bill? They ask me that question, right? I consulted for a company a while back, and after giving them the contract, the guy did not bother to call me again. But because he's a friend, I just called to check on him. And he said, so when I called him much later, the guy said that he's sorry, oh, that he's okay, I'm not angry. I didn't get back to me again. I said, angry at what? I said, do you think that's what I live on? I don't live on that now. We are still friends. That doesn't mean I should not reach out to you. Okay. So you'll be wondering, is it not my friend that I should do it for you? You know why? We charge for consultancy. If I take the time to design what will help your business grow and you did not pay for it, if you don't do it, who loses? You and me. But if you paid for it, and you don't use it, who loses? You lose, I've gained. But if you use it, you will multiply. And I told him, right? So after much plea and all of those things, we came down to, okay, no problem. You know what I'm going to do? I charge $10,000 per hour. Just pay that $10,000 an hour, and I'll leverage everything I've got, and then we give it to the person. I can't begin to tell you the stories, right? So this thing works. If it doesn't work, we don't. So what you can do for the gentleman, the student, is to increase your skill, right? If you know better, you can do better, and then that also means your income can improve. So that's pretty much what I would suggest you do. But one of the skills that you want to consider improving or working on is your communication and your closing skills, your ability to sell. Those two skills will put food on the table no matter where you find yourself. Um, because even if you don't create any product and all you do is connecting buyer to seller of other companies' products, you will be in business. Do you understand? And that's the number one proof that you're in business. The proof that you're in business is not that you have an office. It's not that you have a certificate of incorporation. The number one proof that you're in business is that you can connect buyer to seller, right? And once you know how to do that, you're in business, you're good. And that's pretty much what I would suggest you do. When you do that, then we can start discussing the structure of your investments, your assets, and all of those things. Right? Let's go and make some money for now.
Thank you very much for that, OC. I don't know if any other person has a question. Do we have more questions? Okay, Wisdom is sharing an experience here. He's saying, OC, you're absolutely right. 2021, my crypto asset portfolio was massive, but I did not cash out before the dip. I should have cashed out on some assets and invested in real estate. Sorry about that, Wisdom. You have paid school fees to life. You will not make that mistake again. Now you can advise somebody, and then you can also take OC's insights as well. So next time your portfolio is massive, just diversify your portfolio. Do we have any extra questions? I think one of the questions I would ask is for someone who just, okay, we have a question from Beisha. What are the platforms that can generate money?
Maybe the person
You.
just joined. Maybe you just joined. Somebody said something here. I think it's Olagoke. He said to have missed FFC 1.0
Yeah.
is
So
like
I miss your wedding with financial freedom and wealth. What
Thank you,
an
Olagoke.
analogy.
Can
Thank you
such
for that
steps
compliment.
can such steps that will be provided for the above question be also applicable for a skilled person, maybe a fashion designer? Well, absolutely. So for a fashion designer, sorry, Stella, that I'm jumping in. I know it's your call. Yeah, but I just noticed those comments and I felt I should. So for a fashion designer, you know, just like there are very great authors who write very well, but not all best writing authors that are best-selling authors. So it's the same thing as fashion designer. You see, in order to succeed in any business, there are two broad categories of skill you need to develop. There is the technical skill, right, which is on how to do the job, right? So maybe it's a plumbing skill, electrician, the skill of an electrician, a mechanic, an auto mechanic. You can mention them, including fashion design, hairdressing. These are all skills, technical skills, right? Not everybody can do it, all right? But there's also what we call business skills. If you want to advance your fashion designing business, right, you need to hone your business skills. Now, what I've come to realize is not everybody who is technically inclined also is business inclined. Not everybody who has technical skill also possess business skill, but it takes business skill to be able to harmonize all the relevant technical skills and even some business skills to grow an enterprise. So, for example, I'm a real estate developer, right? I'm into real estate development, and I'm not an architect. I'm not a current certified engineer. I'm not a civil engineer. I'm not an analytical engineer. I'm not a mechanical engineer. I'm just a businessman who harmonizes the skill of everybody else, the technical skills of everybody else, right? And utilize that for commercial enterprise. Do you get the point I'm making? And that is where the money really lies. So being a fashion designer is not going to guarantee you. You may be good at doing the work, but you may not know how to negotiate. You may not know how to market or sell your product. You may not know how to organize team. Many skilled people that I know like to do the work by themselves. There was a time in my life where I had this particular mechanic. That mechanic, I've known him for maybe 20, I've known him for since 2007. Yeah, 2007. In 2 years' time, to be 20 years. So somebody I've known for almost 20 years. But the same is this only person that is doing this work. Is the only person that is doing his work. Very good at his job, but does not know how to reproduce himself. He does not know how to market. Of course, that's why he's still in business, because those who have been using it because it's good keep referring people to him. But there's also a limit to how much he can handle per time. Are you seeing the limitation? So he can remain the same for 20 years, for 30 years. And the day he dies, the business dies. So you want to take your business to another level where you can reproduce yourself. You must have a training academy. You must have different things. And all of those things is what will help you to heighten and increase your income, even as a fashion designer. I hope I didn't bore you too much.
Um, Not at all. Not at all. Do we have any further questions? No, it's always every point is always relevant. We're always looking forward to such points, and we want to say thank you. Thank you for sharing all of this. So for anyone thinking, oh, how do I start multiple streams of income without burnout? You've already seen what the flow should be, the three streams. So if you are just focused on earned income, where you're saying, oh, how can I work here? How can I work here? How can I work in four places? Just know that you're already in error. That one is not multiple streams of income, or multiple streams of suffering. So you're signing up for what we don't understand. That's not what we're teaching you here. So how many of us here on this floor have gotten our deliverance? Or at least if they were to set an exam, if we were to put a test right now, you know that you understand and you can teach somebody else on what multiple streams of income is or are, the three streams. You also know what multiple streams of expenses, you can speak to that. Many of us can attest to that because it's not about just coming to this class, it's about taking the action points. I can't see our responses, and we have 76 people on this call. How many of us can attest to it? Okay, thank you, Atolani. Who else can attest to it and say, I understand? And beyond understanding, I'm going to take action. Because it's not just about consuming information, no. It's not consumers that get blessed, right? Producers to get blessed. So since we do not have any question, I don't know if Osi has any final words, but I know that some more announcements I would like to make is if you're not following OC, you are wrong. The links will be shared. Make sure you're following on all platforms and you're turning on your notification, right? And also the next Financial Freedom Challenge is going to be starting next month. It's going to be starting next month. Don't say we did not tell you. So when you're taking your salary, you already know that's one of the streams of expense that is certified to definitely come back to you in multiple folds. It's Financial Freedom Challenge. So please register for it, whether the basic $99 or the VIP. Just make sure you take advantage of it. I'm sure you can see the testimonials in the chat already. Everyone who joined can attest to it. You're going to be seeing their testimonials very soon. They can attest to it that their life has never remained. In fact, they've not recovered. I don't know if they can recover. It takes more than one time for you to recover from such an encounter. right? So please, financial freedom challenge is like financial freedom crusade. Every household mindset that has been ingrained is going to be destroyed, right? So please make sure that you attend and tell people around you about it as well. I'm sure there are other opportunities, also the inner circle opportunity. I don't know if Otin wants to speak to that.
You said what?
For people
What
on
did you
this
call
call,
it?
the inner circle opportunity.
You just apply, and then we will evaluate your application and decide whether or not we want to admit you. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. So yeah, so that one is not a problem. Just register for the Financial Freedom Challenge. Next week, we're supposed to have Wealth Unleashed next week, Wednesday, but we'll be taking a break next week, Wednesday, and I'll tell you why. So for anything that can make me not to be present here, we know that it must be very important. My church is hosting the Global Kingdom Conference, and I'm using this opportunity to invite you all. It's our annual pilgrimage, and you'll be doing your family, yourself, a lot of good. Everything is not about money. Uh, when you come for such a kind of a program, you'll get an encounter that can transform every other area of your life. And I'm using this opportunity to invite you to join us. So if you are even abroad, you can still join us at CBC Nigeria on YouTube. And you'll be glad. And if you are in the area, you can come to our branch in Bagada. We have a viewing center there. If you live around the Egbeda Kotun axis in Lagos, Nigeria, then you can come to our headquarters. It's going to be a life transforming experience. You don't want to miss it. And then if you are a minister, you know somebody who is a minister of the gospel or a leader of business, then they need to attend the morning sessions. The morning session starts on Thursday to Saturday. The evening sessions, the general session is going to be in the evenings, starting on Wednesday from 5:30 p.m. Till about 9 p.m. or so each day. So you can join online, you can join physically, but don't miss it for any reason. That's the reason I'm not going to be available next week, Wednesday. Do you understand that? I just felt I should mention that so that everybody knows.
Great. So you have all been invited, as well as come for Career Fest as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So if you're a career professional, you don't really want to miss Career Fest this Sunday. That's happening in our church branch in Bagada, CBC Bagada. We call it the Wealthy Place. I'm privileged to be the pastor of that branch, and so you don't want to miss it. And we have a very, very powerful a resource person who will be coming to share with us on the, navigating the career seasons of your life. And you can also join us online on YouTube, CBC Wealthy Place. All right. Um, if you are not in Nigeria, if you're in Nigeria, it would be nice you come in person, right? And then invite some other people to join as well. All right, that'll be all for now.
All right. Thank you, everyone. I'm sure it has been an insightful time for each and every one of us here. All of the life-changing insights that have been shared with us. So please make sure you're not just a hearer. And for those who are saying, oh, I just came late, I did not catch up, the replay is going to be on Zoom, so you can catch the replay and every other replay for the first timers. Every video that we shared for Wealth Unleashed is on the social media. So please take advantage of it. And don't forget that the sea and the ocean never runs dry because they receive water from various rivers and streams. So if you don't want to run dry, if you want to keep overflowing, if you want your bank account to keep rushing, then you need to put to practice creating multiple streams of income and not multiple streams of stress or burnout, please. So that you know, say, oh, see, I tried and just landed in the hospital. Please. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We'll see
Can I
you
add
in a
something?
fortnight.
Can I,
Yes,
can I add
please.
something? Please
Yes, please.
feel free to share the replay with as many people within your network so that the thing can spread. All right. Once it is made available, feel free to share it with other people. If you drew value from this, it can also be a blessing to somebody else. God bless you. That'll be me signing out.
Thank you so much for joining us. And those who are asking for the address, I have put the address in the box. We'll be happy to see you. We'll be happy to host you. I will be on ground. So you can please reach out when you come on Sunday or maybe next week. Thank you so much for joining Wealth Unleashed Wednesday. We look forward to seeing you in a fortnight. Tell a friend, share with your friend, and make sure you practice above all. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your evening. It's been a great time being your host.